Hey, what's up, nerds? I am Indy. Welcome, in a way, back to Super Metroid. I know I've done a very poor playthrough of this on my channel already, but I'm here with Yahweasel. We're doing kind of a dual commentary type of thing.
Hello! This is Yahweasel. I'm here because I am never going to beat this game, but it sure is easier if instead I just sit back and do nothing and somebody else beats the game. So, that's pretty much...
How come you never think you'll beat us?
I know myself. I don't know.
Oh man. Well, I love this game. This will probably be, I don't know, 10th, 15th time I've beaten it. So.
And I'm gonna count this for me, so it'll be the first. It completely doesn't count, but sure, why not?
It bothers me if jump isn't B. Like,
you didn't switch to Japanese text?
No.
Not a real player, then. The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.
Oh, yes. That's storytelling. I first battled the Metroids on planet Zebes. It was there that I foiled the plans of the space. It's very awkward when you have to wait for them to be
What planet is she from? I'm just curious. I'm trying to place the accent.
I thought that was a legit question for a minute. Oh wait. Because I was about to say, I actually don't know, but I'm sure it says somewhere in the lore.
I'm sure the lore knows, and we've now discovered what the accent of that planet is.
Well, I mean, because, like, Samus herself was, I believe, raised by, what were they called? God, Kazos. Yeah, Kazos. Korzos. Wow, and I'm the Metroid fan.
I know. Upon reminding, I know that her name is Samus, and I know that she is of the female persuasion, and I know it's a platformer game. Oh, and I know vaguely what Metroids are. I know that she isn't Metroid.
No, the Metroids are the things that she just pointed at.
Yes, the air jellyfish.
A lot of people thought she was Metroid.
Well, in the same way that a lot of people thought Link was Zelda, of course. It's, you know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It doesn't say your name at the beginning of Zelda. Just off, go.
Well, but also, I mean, I guess this is a problem of, you know, people who have no experience with any sort of fiction, that they just assume that the protagonist is named after the story. It's like, no. That's true. I mean, it's sure there exist some stories like that, but really, I don't think that's the majority case.
That's true, and considering that Nintendo's first game was named after the character.
Ah, yeah. And, you know, there's Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure Zelda came out before Sonic.
It must have, yeah, because it was 8-bit, and Sonic came out with the, because it was all about blast processing!
What did the Sega do? Was it like 16 or 32?
Well, so, I mean, there was the Master System that about 7 people had. That was an 8-bit, but, Genesis was a 16-bit system, but the whole thing is it was out a fair amount before the Super Nintendo, and so...
Okay, the Genesis, yeah.
Yeah, so...
One of my friends had the Master System a long time ago.
One of the 7.
No, I know that system didn't do very well.
I have played Phantasy Star for the Master System. It is not a good game.
Oh, jeez. What's funny is that's actually a very highly recommended RPG.
The rest of the series is a lot better. The first one was just, you know, like Final Fantasy 1 is probably the worst Final Fantasy, same kind of thing.
Probably. Oh, I mean,
so,
I wouldn't play it, but I watched Pro Jared play it, and I feel like watching it is better than playing.
Probably. So you were, I'm trying to figure out the plot here. So you went in to get the last Metroid, presumably to make a sandwich or something, and Space Gargoyle captured it.
Well, pretty much the plot before this one is that Samus was set out to destroy all the Metroids, and then this one decided, oh, you must be my mother, and followed Samus, and she gave him to scientists to experiment and see how to find their weakness. But this thing decided to take it away, and I'm gonna use this to destroy humanity.
Okay, makes sense. So, is it the last Metroid, or is it just the last in humans region?
I'm not sure. They never, like... I'm sure
I
it's like...
I was gonna say, like, if it's the very last one, then actually, you know, keeping it around is probably not such a good idea. But if it's,
probably
you know...
not. That might be why she gave it to them as well, to try and find out where more are.
Right. Figure out its homeworld.
That
was a load-bearing boss!
The plot didn't go that deep, though, so...
Right.
To tell you if it's like, oh, there's more.
Well, I'm sure this is one of those situations where, like, they made a game that was just simple and fun, it was a good platformer, and then they built another one in the series, and they were like, oh, I guess that something has to have made sense there, so they start cobbling things together, and as the games progress, each one has more story. Mode 7 than the last. Wait, this isn't Mode 7. Mode 7 is the 3D-like thing.
Let's see, I'm trying to remember what... I'm pretty sure the Metroid game after this one was Metroid Fusion for Game Boy.
Woo!
Which...
Game Boy ports are always the best.
Actually, that one was really good. Metroid Fusion was on par with this one.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a plus. Planet Zebes.
Zebes or Zebes.
It kind of looks like a gas giant. I don't know how you're landing on that.
It does a little bit, but yeah, Metroid Fusion, like, it got highly rated, and I love it. I plan on doing a playthrough of it sometime. Because, like, I don't recall Metroids being in it, but then again, I might be remembering wrong.
This planet is a lot more blue and green than it looked like from far away. I guess the other side of those clouds are all red.
Maybe they took inspiration from No Man's Sky.
Reverse inspiration.
Seriously, No Man's Sky, still kind of a disappointment. Like, I don't know if you ever played it.
I haven't, but I have seen the sheer... The thing is, it's not the kind of game I would have been interested in, even if it had been the game that they had promised that it was.
Yeah. I'm a bit of a Minecraft player, so I would have been interested in it. But it didn't at all live up to what they said.
Yeah.
And it still hasn't, despite all the updates they've done.
Oh, that's right. This is like the end area of the original Metroid, isn't it? It's like a callback.
Yeah, that's where Samus fought Mother Brain. Which is actually... this was my first Metroid, so I had no idea.
Right. Well, but it's not like you desperately need to know that to play the game, but it's a nice callback if you do.
Yeah, that's true. Which, after playing,
Morphing Ball!
Yeah, Morphing Ball. Funny story about the Morphing Ball. I played the randomizer of this. It's almost impossible to progress without the Morphing Ball from this area. Wasn't there.
I mean, my understanding is, like, a big part of what's tricky about writing those randomizers is making sure that everything is somewhere where you can progress. But
yeah, which...
progress sometimes means taking advantage of weird glitches.
That's true. I mean, in its defense, I did choose hard mode, and it said hard mode is unfair. So...
Usually when a game says that hard mode is unfair, they really just mean it's very, very difficult. But it could, unfair can mean, like, yeah, this game actually can't be beat, so...
Well, I mean,
it's really unfair.
I don't know if you give into the pressure of the YouTube stuff, but, like, when you're playing a game on YouTube, it's like, I gotta choose hard so it's entertaining for the people.
I feel like the genre... Well, so first off, it's entertaining at any difficulty for me because I'm so crappy at video games that, easy mode is hard mode.
Okay. Well, if I may ask, how long have you been playing video games?
At all or on YouTube? I would say...
at all.
So... The thing is, I cut my teeth on flight simulators, and so... A lot of the time when I certainly have experience with using, game-like input, I wasn't playing video games, I was doing flight simulators.
Okay.
So, I I played the occasional video game as a kid, and like Super Mario World I've certainly beaten several times, and Zelda Link to the Past, I had a Super Nintendo. Saga Frontier I played on the PlayStation, but there's like a smattering of games that I actually played as a youngin', and then I have, about 12 flight simulators that I played at various times through my youth, and played isn't even the right term. And so there's like a class of game that isn't actually games that I'm good at, but also that I don't do at YouTube because they're not particularly interesting if you're not the one playing it. So
true. I don't know. Some people love seeing a person mess up, though.
So I've done like a couple videos of flight simulators on YouTube, but the problem is I don't mess up. I have an ultralight pilot's license, so I don't even
Oh, nice.
I don't need a flight sim, but except in the winter when it's not so fun.
Jeez. Yeah, I've been playing video games since I was probably about 2 years old. So, I'm one of those guys.
Right. So like, the number of video games I have beaten has raised dramatically in the 4 years that I've been doing it on YouTube. Like...
Honestly, it's not really the same for me. It's gone up to more what I've played than what I've beaten.
The number I played has certainly increased drastically, but like a lot of games I would have played a little bit of and then not actually beaten, but because I'm doing these series, I at least try to beat the game, and it's like, wow, I feel like I've beaten vastly more games than I have had ever before. So.
Oh yeah. Well, like, there's a ton of games that I would have never even thought I would like to have played if it wasn't for YouTube.
I was going to comment that I really liked the styling of that boss, but we didn't get a moment to cut in edgewise. It was this sort of, like, bird-like beak that then went all crazy attack mode. It was very, very cool, very well designed.
Well, I killed him too fast, but there's a point where the beak just gets ripped off and he starts going crazy.
But you're too good.
Welcome to Hanwell has posted a new announcement. Yay! That disappointment of a game.
I'm glad that popped up not over the game window.
Oh, okay, so you didn't get it. Good.
Well, no, I saw it, but it's not, I'm obviously going to crop out to just the game, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a game that I was very excited for. Did not live up to what I was expecting. Which is sad.
There are so many of them. You know what? So here's the way to get games to live up to your expectations. I have this series, Scratch and Itch, that I just play randomly selected free games from itch.io.
Oh, yeah, from itch.io.
Yeah, and most of them are crap, but, what do you expect for free? And then a few of them are really great, and they're free. So...
That's true. There was a
your
game
value per dollar is very good.
That is true. I mean, itch.io has some gems in it. That's for sure. But there was this game that I actually bought, and the title, don't let the title fool you. It's not what you think. The game is called Don't Make Love. And I know it sounds weird, but the game is about two praying mantists who are in love, and basically it's like the I want to love you but I can't kind of deal.
Right.
But the interesting part about it is that for the most part you can type an answer and it will be able to know what you said, which obviously it didn't perfect it, but not a lot of games can. Ow.
Well, so I mean, in what detail? Because also that's how video games were played in the 1980s.
That's true. I remember text-based adventures. Wow, I must sound like an idiot now. In what detail?
I mean, if it's actually like reading the language in an interesting way, because the thing with text-based adventures is you would learn the set of verbs that worked, you would learn the set of nouns that worked, and that was actually the language you were speaking. Did not resemble English.
Well, like, it would... it would respond to questions that you wouldn't expect it would actually respond to, like what's a good example? She was asking about the character's friends, and I said, well, you know, I don't have too many friends. Well, what are they like? And I said, well, some are funny, some are quiet. It's like, oh, the quiet ones sound like they'd be interesting to meet, and you know, it was interesting like that. So it had some detail in it.
Had some artificial intelligence.
Then again, there were times where it was like, okay, just completely ignore what I just said, fine. So it wasn't perfect, but there were times where I was like, oh, okay.
See, all we really need is to revive these dead categories of video game.
Oh yeah, wouldn't they be popular? Especially with today's age. Call of Duty!
I choose to believe that for all the, you know, the masses who buy fairly crappy repetitive games, there's still, you know, a lingering but significant portion who are more discerning.
I'm sure there is.
I'm a positivist in that way.
There's those people who will buy that game that looks interesting, but you don't know too much about. Like I am.
Since I moved to Canada a few years ago, what I've noticed is that if I wanted every version of NHL video game that has ever been released, I could probably do that for about $20.
Oh, jeez.
Because they're so popular here with, you know, hockey in general, and they all get resold because everybody buys the next one. And so, like, last year's NHL game is $1, and NHL on, you know, SNES is about 50 cents.
Oh my god.
So I sort of have this notion, since I basically don't know much about hockey, I have this notion of, like, buying every NHL game and just making some joke series of understanding hockey only through video games.
That'd be interesting. Sports games are actually very popular here, too. But it's not NHL as much as it is the football, Madden.
Well, yeah. I'm from the States, so I'm...
Okay, yeah. Which I have absolutely no interest in Madden at all. I don't know. I'm sure I have some viewers who are.
I feel like... So obviously what we're witnessing here is the, like, perfected strategy. Because this looks slightly too easy.
Yeah, this is kind of like okay, take it easy. We're just showing you what to do.
Okay.
It's like
it's faster now.
Yeah, it's just, okay, we're gonna take off the training wheels a little bit now. But it's like Mario 64. It's like, press up to run forward now, not to jump. It's like, up is now forward. But yeah, this is basically the training wheels boss. Well, I guess the last one was, and this is like okay, training wheels are off now, boss, but we're still gonna give you tips.
Right. The last one was the training wheels boss. This is the training wheels are off, but you're going slightly downhill, so you don't actually have to pedal boss.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the last boss, though, because you can die pretty quickly from that first boss. So
I'm sure I can die to any of these bosses. Don't question my incompetence.
I mean, like I said, I've probably beaten this game 15, 20 times. Expect that number to go up because I never remember.
So that boss leaked a bunch of sepia ink all over the place.
Sepia ink. I think it was supposed to be the plants dying or something. I don't know. That or we can just go with what you said.
It was just full of sepia ink.
What you said sounds better.
Whee!
One thing I do love about this game, though, and that's for every Metroid game, the music. The music is amazing.
Let's hear more of it next time. We're so deep in conversation that I'm just like ignoring the timer. But yeah, let's next time.
Wait, how far are we in?
19
we're like
minutes.
25. 19 minutes. Should we do the outro?
Yes, yes. Next time is my hint that it's outro time, just for future reference.
Yeah, you said it's 19 minutes, so thanks so much for watching, guys. This is going to be a full series, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Yahweasel. I almost called you Yamweasel.
Cheers from Yamweasel.
Thank you, Yahweasel, for joining, and thank you so much, everyone, for watching. We'll see you all in the next episode. Stay nerdy, everybody.